Michael, here we are again, the build-up to the World Championship. We had this conversation a couple of years ago, and you were going into the tournament having had a record-breaking year.
Yeah.
The first question I want to ask you is, do you feel under more pressure now, or more pressure then when you'd had such a great year and everyone expected you to win it?
Yeah, I think it's a bit double, to be fair. Yeah, you can see it from two ways, but I always put the pressure on myself anyway, and I still want to perform as good as possible. I still feel good, so yeah, why not? It's the biggest tournament of the year, and you want to perform well here. And yeah, I just want to do what I like to do, to play as good as possible.
Yeah, you obviously know what it's like to win the World Championship. Yeah. Just reflect on the feeling when you won your first world title and the second one as well.
Yeah, the first one, of course, a phenomenal feeling, and the second one was even more difficult for me because all the pressure was on me. But both titles had something special, and I worked very hard for both of them. Of course, the second one I was like nearly unbeatable because I think I played phenomenal darts. Christopher Rice had a 106-7 average against me. Raymond 109, and still managed to win all them games. But now this has been a different year for me. I didn't have a bad year. I still won 18, 19 tournaments, and yeah, of course I want to win more. But the ladder is higher for me, and I put the ladder very high for myself in the past. So yeah, it's difficult and difficult, but yeah, I'm not really worrying. I need to make sure I'm going to play well in this tournament.
Sorry to remind you of this, but let's reflect on the other side of it as well. Last year when you missed those darts against Rob Cross, and then you saw him hit the double to knock you out of a tournament that was kind of set up for the perfect final between you and Phil Taylor.
Yeah, it would have been the perfect final. Don't get me wrong, fair play to Rob Cross for how he played that tournament. But I only can blame myself. I missed 5 darts. I see it as an incident. I shouldn't be in that position. I shouldn't, because it was not only that leg, it was not only the 5 darts, also early on in the game I missed too many doubles, and yeah, unfortunately I lost that game. But what can you do? You need to make sure you come back stronger and stronger. I think after the defeat last year in the World Championship, I won the Masters and I won the Premier League straight away. So that's not really bad, but everything can go better, and you always need to look to perfection.
How do you reflect on the year? You've still won 19 tournaments, yes, but some of the bigger ones you've been beating in the match play, the Champions League, other tournaments, obviously the World's at the start of the year.
Of course, but it's very difficult to compare people. I've put the ladder so high for myself in the past years, so also people expect a lot from me. And when there's less expectation on other players, and they're then winning a tournament, they have a great year, but I still won more than twice as much as anyone else this year. Of course, not all the big ones, but I still more than anyone.
How do you react inside? What do you think when you hear people saying Michael van Gerwen's not the best player in the world, or is not as formidable a force as he used to be?
No, of course, I wasn't. Of course, wasn't the greatest year I ever had, but I still think my lowest games are still better than a lot of players, and I still won quite a few tournaments. Of course, the fact that I didn't win as many television tournaments as the years before is also because I was a bit unlucky, I think, this year, and also other players standing up. And I need to make sure I'm going to play like my expectations again. And yeah, what other people say, it's up to them, but I'm just doing my own thing.
One thing that makes a great champion, of course, is to win with grace, but also to lose in that style as well. And you're always the first to say you can only blame yourself, not anyone else.
I'm one of the only players who actually say that. A lot of people complain about the wind or the venue or the opponent or anything else. But when you miss darts or you don't play as well as you wanna play, you only can blame yourself. You can't blame anything else, because there's where things go wrong. Do you know what I mean?
When you go away and reflect on a defeat in a big tournament, do you know what went wrong? I'm not going to ask you to tell all your rivals what it was, but do you know what it was?
Of course. I think my concentration wasn't 100%. Otherwise, normally I would never miss 5 darts, as simple as something like that. But sometimes what comes around goes right. Also, Peter White last year in the Premier League, he missed 7 match darts against me. So things sometimes happen, and you don't always need an explanation why things happen. Just carry on. Just see it as an incident and move on. You don't always need to make it a big thing. Yeah.
And I guess that's the thing about darts as a game anyway, trying to forget what's happened and concentrate on the next match.
Yeah, exactly. There's so many tournaments going on, so there's no time to to sit down and think about things, because before you know, you're already on the stage and you need to beat your next opponent.
What you did say going back 2 years, when you'd won all those tournaments, 25, you said if I don't win the World Championship, they don't really matter. This year, with it not being your best year, is it kind of if I win the World Championship, it doesn't really matter, it makes it matter?
Still, a lot of people only see the Worlds as the biggest tournament. I see it as well, but all the other tournaments together, I want to play well all over the season. And if you look to my average, my stats and everything, I very rarely disappoint myself with a very poor performance, and I need to live up my own abilities. I know what I can do, and I know there's room for improvement, and you always need to look at it that way.
In the end, players are judged on world titles. Is it important for you to get to number 3?
I will get to number 3.
This year?
Would be nice.
There's a few reasons why it might be even more nice, because £500,000 for one, it's the biggest ever field, and you'll be the first player to win it in the biggest ever field.
Yes, of course, that would be great, of course. But we are a little bit. I first need to make sure I get concentrated in my first round, to make sure I get into the World Championship feeling again. I'm practicing really hard at the moment with Vincent a lot, so yeah, I feel good. And people always say, yeah, it's going to be difficult for him, but I think it's going to be more difficult for the other ones. Of course, me, myself, Gary, Lewis, Barneveld, Wadey, Whitlock, we're all in the same draw, and the bottom half is wide open. But yeah, I think it makes me stronger when I play good players. I showed that in the World Championships before. When I had tough draws, I always managed to play really well.
Do you look at that? Do you look as far as who you might meet in the tournament, who's in the way?
Yeah, but it's difficult to say because you don't know what is going to happen. But yeah, of course you can presume. Normally, Raymond van Barneveld, Gary Anderson, they're not gonna lose the other games, especially when the format gets higher. It's going to be very difficult, but the tournament's always open for disappointments, because you can see in the year that Phil Taylor he lost to Wayne, though for everyone that was a big disappointment as well. And even doesn't say he's not a good player, but everyone expects Phil to win, you know, expected. And now they all expect me to win, but it's not that easy. I need to make sure I'm going to show my class, and I'm ready for it.
And finally, how do you feel going into a World Championship, and during it? Do you get excited? Do you get nervous?
Of course, no, I'm not really nervous. I get excited because I want to play well there. It's the biggest stage of the year where you want to perform. Not the biggest crowds, but it's filled up in 30 sessions, filled up. You know what I mean? It's such a good feeling, and yeah, this was all matter. Small press, you prepare better for this tournament than any other one. Even you don't want to, but you will do. I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah.
Well, so are we, Michael. Thank you very much for your time.
You.
The talking's done. You can follow Michael's progress at michaelvangerwen.com, and across all of his social media channels. The information is in the description of this video.